In this video, we'll be creating our database migrations to hold the user information, so user can log in, register, log in, and authenticate it himself, and then we can attempt to redirect them to the project page. Okay, let's get started. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to create the model using the Laravel generators, and they're going to create the database table for us. So PHP artisan make model. Our top level model is project. I hope it creates the database table. It does. And then next is task model, and next is subtask. We only need these three models for now, and then in the future when we expand this functionality, we might be looking at creating more models. Let's go to database folder, migrations, and as you see we have 3 new migrations. So open up the projects table. It gives us a little bit of boilerplate to get started, and we're going to be expanding this boilerplate to suit our requirement. Now the very first thing we need is let's just copy down, and we need a name for the project. That's going to be a string. We need a name. Then we need a slug. A slug is basically to show in the address bar when we click on a project, instead of showing project by its ID, which is by default like 1, 2, 3, we're going to be looking at by slug name. Now the name can have white spaces. We're going to remove those spaces and replace them with the hyphen. So slug is like a my dash first project dash create YouTube video, stuff like that. Anyway, next we're going to need a date column for our due date, and we're going to need a boolean, which is essentially going to be completed, whether the task is completed or not, and we're going to give it a value. By default it's false. Every time a new record is created, it comes with a false value, which makes complete sense. And what else do we need? We're gonna have to also need some sort of a body of the project, which is going to be a description. So this one is going to be long text. It's going to be the description. You can use text if you want, but that's fine. And then also we need a foreign key, which is going to be an integer. User ID, and that's going to be an unsigned key, unsigned, and we're going to index it, our primary index. And this key is essentially a foreign key. It's a foreign key that references ID on which table? Users table. And on delete we want to cascade our projects table, and then we drop the projects in the public function down. So it's called 2 functions, up and down. When we say PHP artisan migrate, it's going to run the up function. When we say rollback, it's going to run the down function. And foreign user ID references ID on users, on delete cascade. Okay, that's all good. We're going to be copy this. Let's copy this to tasks, and we're going to paste it down here, over here. And all we have to change is instead of user ID that has already been referenced in the projects table, we're going to reference the project ID, and we're going to call it projects. It references ID on projects, and rest everything, name, slug, description, due date, completed, status false, is all good. Another thing I forgot to do was we need to create a soft delete column that's going to help us in deleting the records as a soft delete rather than deleting permanently. Now soft delete models will not they'll be excluded out of your query, and they will not show up in your query results, but they can always be restored. If you change your mind in the future, you can restore them. And we're going to do the same here. And let's copy this one because this has been updated, and let's try to paste exactly same thing in the subtasks. It's going to have a task ID, and it references on tasks. And that's all done for our name, select, description, due date. That's same for this task as well, and it's going to drop down, so that's fine. Let's migrate these tables. PHP artisan migrate. PA is just an alias for PHP artisan to save a time. Now I recently migrated these tables, so I'm gonna say PHP artisan migrate, refresh, and it's giving me some error because I forgot I have done an integer. I've done a mistake here. It's a typo error, so we can fix this before we migrate. And then here is integer, and I hope it goes through now. It's all good. It has been migrated. Let's open up our SQL Pro and have a look, refresh it, and all our tables have been migrated, as you can see. So try to migrate these tables. In the next video, we'll be creating structuring our models and creating the fields for our models, fillable fields, and also we'll be defining some of the relationships from one model to another. Make sure to comment, subscribe, or like, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.